Hello and welcome to another episode of Literary Gladiators, the show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game. Let's meet the panel.
Hi, I'm Larry.
I'm Ari.
Tara.
And I'm Josh. And Larry, it's nice to have you back after a few weeks.
Thanks, Josh. It's great to be here.
It's always a delight.
Always.
Already, I thought I would show you one of my new favorite cheese combinations before we start the discussion, because we here love cheese.
We sure do.
This is a few weeks ago. I went to the Cheese Board in Linwood, which is it's a favorite place of mine to visit, and I got a perfect pairing. Here is my response to it. I didn't get the poached pear or candied the walnuts, but this is Stilton cheese with a walnut and honey.
You gotta have Stilton in one of the rankings of cheese. I mean, it's just so good.
It's top tier.
I know.
Stilton is my favorite blue cheese.
I think it's my favorite cheese.
Mm.
I really like it. It's so deep.
Well,
It
how
almost
do you
tastes
guys
like
like
it was made like in a factory or something. It's like a candy. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
I get you.
How do you like that?
The combination?
Yes.
It's great. I have to start learning how to candy my walnuts, though, as far as making them so that the walnut is...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know that there's an innuendo to that.
I'm sorry, I was trying not to laugh. Hey, at least I didn't slam the table and run up to the camera and say, "Keep reading."
Today we're going to be revisiting a work from our fourth season. It was actually the very first discussion that we filmed at Ari's place, and it was the most renowned classic written by Ambrose Bierce, and it is An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. So, Ari, you have a discussion starter?
Yeah. So, I was rereading this, and it's very interesting because there are some pieces of information that you just kind of glaze over, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it. So the first thing is that this actually, even though it's a French film, and I'm pretty sure the person who wrote it was probably Ambrose Bierce. Is he from France or no?
No, he's American.
He's American. So that makes sense because it takes place in Alabama. Something I didn't quite pick up on when I first read it. And it takes place and the guy who is Peyton is 35 years old and he's a slave owner. Three things that I did not really catch the first time I was reading it. And kind of just those three pieces of information give me a whole new perspective on this. About a man who is hanged for something and he's thinking he's getting away with it. He's
for an infraction of a rule.
Right. But like he's getting away with it and you really think he's going to get away with it. I think the first time I read this, I was rooting for him. This time, like, I already know what was going to happen, but I wasn't rooting for him this time. Once I found out, like, he was a slave owner, it really, that line just, I missed it. I don't know how I missed it last time.
Bring up, what was the line?
I got to find it. You got to give me a minute. It was the paragraph that was talking about him specifically. Being a slave owner and like other slave owners, a politician, he was naturally an original successionist and ardently devoted to the Southern cause.
I think that
I kind of missed over.
It's very back in the day, those that were if you were well-to-do and you came from the South, chances are you were the way that you operated your plantation was through ownership of slaves.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But like just looking at it through the lens of like these times, it's hard to root for someone like that. But when I first read it, I must have skimmed over that part because honestly, I was rooting for him, and now I'm.
I think what makes it challenging is that the lens that they show you is he's not looking to go home to engage in his cruel deeds. He's looking to go home
to his wife,
to see his wife, and for his family. That's what he has on his mind. He doesn't have he's an advocate for the Southern cause, but he's not looking to go home and spread the Southern
No,
cause.
of
He's
course
looking to
not,
go home,
yeah.
and that's where that's where.
But I think just rereading it, like just this is a second opinion. I still love the story as much as I first loved it. It's giving me a different view.
It's just,
which
I
I
mean,
kind of like.
it's very speculative, and the twist at the end is really what causes it to stick out. Is that it was all
It was all
dream.
hallucinate. Yeah.
hallucination.
When he was dying, that's the last thing he saw was his wife playing with Andre.
Yeah, and he was about to embrace her, and then
Yeah,
you hear
and-
the snap. The
the
snap
snap.
happens,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
he is
He goes
never.
somewhere else.
He never really happened. But just the vivid imagery in this story is really
Mhm.
good, especially when you find out that the whole thing. That last line is a very dark line. Peyton Farquhar was dead. His body with a broken neck swung gently from side to side beneath the timbers of the Owl Creek Bridge. Just that alone is almost poetry right there. I mean, well, not quite, but you get my drift.
Was
It's
that
very
the line?
powerful.
Was that the? Did Rod Serling quote that exact line in the?
He might have. I
Twilight
have
Zone
not
episode?
seen the episode in quite some time, so I'd have to go back and check.
I would have to as well, which was a really good episode. It was. I mean, it very well fit the mold of the show, and because it is a quintessential speculative work, but it wasn't traditional because of the fact that it was part of a film festival. It was filmed in Paris.
Yeah.
So.
But I was curious because Larry and Tara were not on their previous discussion, so I
Yeah,
was
it
curious
was you,
about
myself, and Charlie.
what you guys thought of this work.
I not a whole lot, honestly. I found it to be just a little superficial, kind of like, there's not a whole lot going on. It's
It's
all
true.
about the twist ending. That's like what it is for. It's just to get to that. So, but no, I think that like you guys were talking about with the slave ownership and how he's trying to get back to his family. So it makes him relatable in a way that that can be difficult to struggle with. So from that, it can be a little bit rewarding to think about, that these people who we so strongly condemn now, were human beings and they were doing what they thought was best for their families at the time. And
That's a very good point, Larry.
and it does bring out the humanity in him, in the fact that he is fleeing for his life, and that is a relatable experience that we could all get on board with. So I think that adds a little depth to it, but otherwise,
And I have that image of him swimming down the river,
It's right.
and he was ducking under the water. That's the
Trying to
image.
dodge bullets. Yeah.
Look at the duck, and that was good. And
Yes.
that's what sticks in my mind, especially when it was adapted on that episode.
Now, another interesting thing that I kind of mentioned I think I would have mentioned in the previous discussion, but comes even forth now, is how much it's mentioning the neck pain throughout the story, even when he is, like, swimming away.
yeah.
Yeah, how it's
I didn't catch that, but yeah,
it,
now that you
it
mention
mentions it quite
Yeah,
significantly.
I read it like 3 times just to get this, because I listened to it just to get it,
Mhm.
and I was catching up on that. Also, when he is actually in the water, and it's like the way he describes it is kind of different, and then he wakes up, and then he's ducking down. Like then it goes back to where he's fleeing after that, and that's how you know he's dead. Because when he's just in the water, because that's how what stuck in my mind was him thinking, and then all of a sudden after the water, and then you're just dropped back to him running away,
Mhm.
and then you get why he's running away. Not really why he's running away, but you get his I'm trying to get to my wife,
Yeah.
and he never.
Right.
Trying to get
he
home.
never-
Like a couple times it says if he was fatigued, footsore, famishing, but it also says a little bit later that his neck was in pain, and lifting his hand to it, he found it horribly swollen. You're literally imagining that it's swollen, but in fact it is swollen because you're literally about to die.
Yeah, so it's like he's
it-
kind of coming in and out of consciousness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's if you notice, starting when the rope breaks, the writing suddenly becomes very sequential.
Mhm.
It's not like, because there's like, at least in my version, I don't know about your versions, but there's a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Yeah, that's what my audiobook was, like 1, 2, and 3.
So
And then there was other stories.
Yes,
there's-
I have it as well.
it's like a general story in 1 or 2, and 2 kind of talks about Peyton as a person and a little bit of dialogue. 1 is kind of opening up what it was and what he think is going on. But once you get to 3, like, the writing changes. Ambrose Bierce changes the writing just enough to make it look like that's when everything changed. It's a little bit more sequential. It's like a clue to the twist ending if you can read through it.
I think he does a good job concealing it, though.
He does. This is not an ending that you will see coming. It just isn't.
Yeah.
Because again, because it is so sequential, you're more focused in what's happening with the water and the rope, and it's described so well that you wouldn't think that it's all a dream.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
But when I first read it, I'm like, wait, what? That's the ending? And I went to the next story, and I'm like, wait, this is. And I went back and reread it again, and I'm like, well, damn. And then I read it a third time, and that's when I was nitpicking, like, about him being a slave owner, and that even though, like, both sides of a war, both sides have family.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but in a way,
it was interesting.
yeah, in a way, it's very much like, it's not a mystery at all. It's more, like you said, superficial, supernatural.
It was classified as a war story as far as because
Interesting that it's a war
Goodreads
story, because
it
I would
says-
not call it a war story. But if you wanna, if
In
that's what
Goodreads,
it
it
is,
says it's
I guess it could be because it does have to do with returning
what's the other word for, like, ghosts?
supernatural.
Supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but in a way, in a literature sense, it's kind of mystery because you're kind of, I mean, when you're reading it the second time, obviously the first time you don't know it's coming, but when you do know it's coming, it's kind of mystery. Where is it seeming that this person, where are there bits and pieces that are showing what's going to happen?
this collection
Yeah.
sorts it out as horror, war, and tall tales.
Interesting.
Oil of Dog, which we went over in season 11, is classified as a tall tale,
Mhm.
and then this is war.
So, I mean, I can see where the war's coming from because of the whole thing about returning to family. That's a huge, important
Yes.
part of like war stories is returning to your family. It's just interesting how it's melded together to also seem supernatural.
And the role that the Civil War had on what family played a role in what side people took.
That's true.
Like Robert E. Lee mainly fought on the Confederate side because that's where his family was from. What didn't necessarily define his position on abolition.
Right, it wasn't political necessarily, but it was, this is my identity as a Southern man. These are my people. This is what I know, where I come from.
It kind of contradicts of, like, you're slaving people too. You're fighting for that. So you don't pick the cotton. You want the, you know, or clean your own, like, cook, do your own cooking and clean.
Yeah, it's. I mean, not it, obviously. It's not the. It was the wrong thing for them to not only enslave but also dehumanize, and the way that they treated these people was immoral.
And then
That's horrible.
federal is north or south,
Federal is just.
or is it just a general?
Federal
Yeah,
is-
it was a union.
Because it
and
says it's a
Confederacy.
federal.
Yeah.
Okay, Confederacy.
Yeah, it's. I mean, federal in a general sense refers to the whole country, but
Because here,
the
it
Union was
says
the north
here,
and the Confederates were the south.
he was a federal scout. The guy who hung him or hanged him was trying to hang him was a federal scout.
Yeah, I got the impression that the bridge was taken by the Union, and he was trying to do something to like get it back or something, and that's why.
That's
had it
why
on the hang.
it makes sense.
But I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if he was caught by the Union or he did a war crime. That's one thing.
I
that
think it
confused
could be.
me.
It
That's
could,
what
it's up to.
confused
I think
me.
it's up to interpretation.
It's really confusing. Like why is he being hanged and I was like trying to figure that out.
It was
sitting there.
something very.
And I
it
figured,
was-
I thought like if we could have us discussing it, maybe we can.
Yeah, I got the impression that the Union captured the bridge, and then he meets that scout
It was
comes by.
a technicality.
and says if anybody messes with that bridge, then it's a hanging offense according to the
Yeah,
occupier.
it says specifically he was not an assassin.
Yeah.
It almost seems like I remember listening to something that once said, "In war, the innocent die too." Like it could just be just a civilian who was caught doing something like what you said, like in the wrong place at the wrong time, trying to take a bridge or something.
Well, no, see, I got the impression that this character was unable to serve in the military for whatever reason, but I think he still wanted to do his part. And when he found out that that bridge was taken, he tried to do something about it by himself and got caught. That's the impression that I got.
So kind of like a revolutionary or rebel.
Like a southern sympathizing vigilante kind of guy.
Vigilante, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, something like that. It's the impression I got. I did want to say also about from a technical standpoint about the setting of the scene in the beginning. I thought that was probably the strongest part of the story, where he's describing how the soldiers are, and how the main character is, and I thought that was really well constructed, and it really painted a picture that was probably the strongest part of the story.
I think the transitions, though, were the strongest between what was real and what was hallucinatory.
Yeah, and I that's why I like revisiting this, especially with Larry and Tara, because Larry, you're more of like you're more focused on like the war element of the story, while I'm more focused on the science fiction portion of the story, the supernatural stuff, and then like Josh's Tara are good balance in between, so we can talk about this in a myriad of ways. But I really like hearing your kind of side about like what he was doing there, why he was there, and how it implements into the actual Civil War.
Yeah, and for me, ultimately it's a story about trying to get home, which is so relatable to anybody who's in trouble. If you're ever in trouble, the one thing that you think of is, I want to get back to my family, I want to get home, I want to see the people that I love again. So,
Do you ever remember the country song, "The Blizzard"? It's Jim Reeves sang it. Johnny Cash also had a version where it's he's so far of a distance to his wife Marianne,
no, I don't know that song.
and it's very enthralling. Just the lyrics. It's the story about him trying to get home through a blizzard, and I think he dies just a few feet away from his home.
Oh.
No, I'll have to look that one all up. That sounds right.
I wrote a song about that, something similar to that. I wrote a song called "Moonlight in the Sergeant," where the sergeant goes to war, but he goes insane, and right before he's given the path to what he's supposed to do, he shoots himself. So I mean, that's kind of like what that reminds me of a little bit. One of my songs I wrote.
It's a darker version for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was. But the way it's worded, it's a song I sometimes play, not very often, but it was more in my depressive 2013, 2014 type of songwriting rather than the more recent ones, which are more critical thinking songs. But yeah.
Alrighty then, do we have any final thoughts? Anything we didn't bring up?
I just love how we were able to explore this through a different lens this time than we did initially. Me and Josh and Charlie did, because we have Larry and Tara here. We were able to explore this short story, and I had a feeling that we were going to get, once I reread it again earlier and mentioned all the Civil War stuff, I think I realized we're definitely going to get some different points of view here, and I was just curious how it turned out. It turned out great.
I think the fact that there were different perspectives really made it great. I thought the first discussion was very fulfilling as it was. I mean, it's always worth going over because there's always another way to do it, even if you felt like you've done it all.
Yeah.
But it's worth mentioning the adaptation of the Twilight Zone adaptation was from season 5. It was the last episode to be produced, but it was not the last episode to air, and it aired on February 28th, 1964. That's what I remember.
That's your birthday.
Yes, it is. It's my birthday.
Well, not 1964.
Not
but
1964. My birthday, though, my birthday, 1964 was 28 years later, 1992. That was also a leap year.
Mhm.
So, because on a leap year, the structure of a year only occurs every 28 years.
I have a friend who was born
Or the
on
day of the week corresponds
Yeah,
with the
day of the week
of the
and
month.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Because even though I was born on a Friday, there are other years where my birthday will land on a Friday, but it won't have the same structure because of February 29th.
Yeah.
So it only happens every 28 years. So, otherwise, if you are interested in picking up Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, here is my copy, The Complete Short Stories of Ambrose Bierce. I would like to read more of these stories, aside from what we went over today and The Oiled Dog.
And if you like the supernatural Twilight Zone-esque part of this story, this book is out of print. I don't think you're going to find it. It was published in 1985. It's The Twilight Zone, the original stories, edited by Martin Harry Greenberg, Richard Matheson, and Charles W. Waugh.
That book's been
Richard
through
Manson.
some
He wrote I Am
stuff.
Legend.
Yes, this is a
Shrinking
very
Man.
old book that I've had for a very long time. It came out before I was born. My mom had it before I had it. And,
Is it 85?
yeah, 85 is when it was published. And so, I would say if you would want to get more involved in like the Twilight Zone aspect, I would watch the episode or see if you can find a more updated treasury. But this is just an old version that I had that had the story in it, and I keep it as like a treasure. Because it's good. It's good.
When you guys talked about this the first time, wasn't Charlie a part of the discussion?
Yes, he
He
was.
was.
Yeah, I thought so.
Alrighty
Little
then.
Charlie.
Before I sign off, I just want to give a shout out to Trevor, who you probably noticed from Literary Gladiators, and I'm pretty sure that everybody has the same sentiment, but I just want to let you know, Trevor, that thinking of you.
Yeah.
And be sure to join us next time on another episode of Literary Gladiators. For now,
Keep reading!
keep reading.
Keep reading.